Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are back with Planet Zoo. We're going to be starting a new franchise. So this is the second video of the series. If you missed my first one, I will leave a link for it at the end of the video. And now we are going to move on to a new zoo in this franchise. So I consulted my husband and he said that I should do something like Arctic themed. So lots of really cool snow animals. We're gonna go in that direction. So we're gonna do the Tundra, we're gonna do it in the Antarctic, and I'm gonna call this the chill zone. I know, it's like super creative. I'm sure none of you could have thought of that on your own. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause this. And if you aren't very familiar with Planet Zoo, it's pretty cool that every time you like start up a new zoo, you can't just like go right in and start buying animals if you haven't set up at least something basic first. So you'll see that like the animal trading and the exhibit trading is grayed out. That's because I don't have the trade center in the zoo. So I kind of appreciate that they do that because it helps you to kind of know where to start when you're getting into a zoo like this. Alright. I think we're gonna build out an exhibit here. I haven't thought too much about what the design of this zoo is going to be. The last one was kind of basic. I really only know how to do like basic zoo designs. I don't want this one to look the same. So I think this time we're gonna kind of come straight out this middle and build an enclosure here to begin with. And before we can do that, we're definitely gonna need like a staff area. So maybe I'll build one coming out in this area, so we could put another habitat here and then direct people maybe out through here and here, right? Or maybe I can build an enclosure and then put the staff center on the other side of it. And if that's the case, then I should probably go ahead and kind of draw out some space, subject to change obviously, depending on what I need. See, I don't know, I feel like this is already kind of super gritty, like my last one, but whatever. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. Let's see how big this is. This might not really be big enough for anything. I really like this wood log fence. I think it's a nice, super basic fence. I think it's only, is it grade 2 or grade 3? I'm not sure. But it can't hold everything. You can put the no climb on it though, so it holds a little bit more. But yeah, I just think it looks really nice in a lot of different biomes. There we go. Sometimes the enclosure building gets really finicky, and that can be kind of annoying. Alright. Let me go ahead and pop in a habitat gate. And let's see what size this is. Yeah, that's not gonna be big enough. Okay. So let's do this and this. Gonna have to add in move this. Yeah, let's just move that all the way back. And then we can click here and add. Click here and add. There we go. And that should be a more reasonable size. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. And then maybe I will run a staff path along the back here. So let's align to this grid. And then we'll put a staff path in. I think I like this one for this too. I might do that because I want a little bit more room for the buildings before the guests start getting upset about seeing the staff paths. So I might put it all the way across from now, and then I might divert the guests kind of more this way out the middle. I don't know. I'm trying to create like a little bit more interesting grid because let's face it, this is looking very similar to my last two. Do you have any tips for kind of breaking out of this like mold and kind of creating more interesting enclosures? Please let me know, because I definitely want to advance my skills in this game. I feel like I'm just barely scratching the surface right now, but I also don't know how much potential I have. I feel like I could be pretty good at building. I do play a lot of The Sims when I'm not playing Planet Zoo, so I do have a lot of experience with building in games, but I feel like this is so much more customizable that it's hard to compare the two. So let's get some staff facilities in, and then we can go ahead and get our first animals. And I think our first animals are going to be either a doll sheep or a reindeer. Haven't quite decided yet. It's being really finicky today, jeez. Okay. So I know I'm gonna need one of those. I know I'm gonna need one of those. I know I'm gonna need one of those. Probably gonna need one of those. And then maybe we'll flip it around. Oh yeah, something will fit really nicely in there. Maybe like a vet surgery. And then, let's see. Go ahead and drop in a workshop and a research center. Okay. Sometimes you can get away with not adding all of those. You know what? Let's see what the negative impact on guests is. Okay. So I actually could get away with making this all guest path for now, and we'll see if they end up saying anything about the facilities. I'll also look into covering up the facilities, kind of like I did last time. Now, staff are not going to be too pleased about like having to walk all the way around the back, but they're just going to have to deal with it. I don't know what to tell them. Okay, so I can put it on this side, and then bring this on around, and then maybe connect it there. So they have like a nice little U. And then let's just connect all of these. I know that those aren't the most beautiful connections, but I think it looks okay overall. Alright, so now with that being done, let's go ahead and hire our pertinent staff. So right now, we will need a caretaker, we will need a keeper, we will need a mechanic, we will need a veterinarian, we will need an educator. I like to get started on my education super fast. You can see that the animal trading is now open because we have the trading center. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab a security guard too. Alright. Now let's go to animal trading, and first I want to go to Zoopedia and see what kind of animals live in the tundra. So we actually have a lot of options. But I think I'm probably going to start with either the reindeer or the doll sheep. Let's just do a search for reindeer. Okay, so there's no male right now, which isn't great. What about... how many reindeer are needed? Okay. So we should be fine on space. But they need 3 to 12 with 1 male. Definitely want to get a male because we want to have a breeding pair. How much do the doll sheep need? 1 male up to... holy cow, up to 39 females? Jeez. Alright. And then... they also don't need much space though. I'm gonna filter the species by doll sheep and by reindeer. And let's see what we have now. The reindeer have like slightly better appeal, but not like a lot better. But this is a pretty decent doll right here. And this is a pretty decent doll. This one's even better. Maybe adopt you and you. Okay, yeah, because they need to have at least 3. So let's go ahead and drop in go ahead and buy these 2. I'll take any of them that have a decently high fertility, and especially if they don't have any like red traits, because you can start to breed better ones. And usually my starters don't end up that great just because of how little money I have to spend, but I usually can continue to breed better ones, and then eventually when I have more funds I can buy like a better male by the time next generation rolls around. I also want to make sure I get a... oh man, is that a power zone? How far out is it? Wow, guys. Wow. It honestly takes some skill to manage that. That's what happens when you don't look at your map before you place things. Okay, let's see. How badly is that going to impact us right now? Ooh. It's right on that corner, but I doubt we're going to have guests wandering up there. Okay. Alright. Let me go over here to small exhibit. And I can only do this for now. Probably want to go ahead and get my mechanic started on his research too. Let's do mechanic research. Also going to pause the game now that the sheep has arrived so we can manage that. Oh! I didn't realize that the research transferred over like that. That's really helpful. Okay, very cool. So let's go ahead and start researching this Arctic theme then, because that looks really cute. And we shouldn't need too much help from our architect yet. I also really like this New World theme. That's beautiful. And new conservation stuff is really nice too, the conservation theme. I think Planet Zoo does a good job with their theming. Okay, so let's go do exhibit trading. And I can clear all of these filters, and I'm gonna go by appeal. I am going to filter also by... I want them to have 50% at least of both. I feel like that's fair. Okay. So it looks like these boas here. And usually the snakes produce a lot of offspring. So let's go ahead and send those here. And let's fix their climate. Let's bump that up to about there. Bump that up to about there. Let's see what that does. Alright, yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and pause it. And then I can get that started. I'm actually going to start on the boa research because I think they're going to be more appealing right now than my sheep, which kind of sounds horrible, but gotta make a little bit of money on this zoo before I can really start jazzing these guys up. That does mean that they're not going to have much enrichment for now though, so I might get a second vet and go ahead and start on the doll sheep research as well. So we're good with the fence, and we can actually lower it a little bit, which would be nice. And then I missed, they're neutral with humans, so we can put a little bit of glass in too. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop this to like a meter and a quarter-ish. Yeah, we'll try that. If we do that, we wouldn't even have to put glass in it. Alright, I feel like these guys are kind of hard to see with all of the snow. I wonder if that's going to be a theme of the Arctic animals, because a lot of them are white. They're pretty happy with all of their terrain. I freaking love these grab balls. We always called them jolly balls, and we used to get them for our dog, actually. I always grew up with German Shepherds. My parents have one right now. I live in a third-story apartment, so I don't have one. But I love my Shepherds, and he loved his jolly ball. He would grab it and shake it so ferociously, and it was just hilarious. And then I know some horses that really enjoy them too. I think I mentioned last time that I have ridden horses my whole life. I do really enjoy horses. Just had a riding lesson yesterday, in fact. I know, it sounds kind of funny when somebody says, yeah, I've been riding my whole life. I had a riding lesson yesterday, but whenever you're in a sport like that, I think it's as true with any sport, you're always learning more. Even if you're the best of the best, there's always more you can learn. And riding is no different, and I'm definitely not the best of the best. So I actually just came off of a 5-year break for college. So in fact, I'm kind of the worst of the worst right now. Not that bad, but when you used to be really good at something and you worked on it for years and really honed your skills, it can be disappointing when you come back to it and you're not very good at it anymore. So I've had to manage that feeling over the last few months, but it's getting better. I just realized that we're gonna have to put in a generator here, and I'm just getting really lost on where all this stuff is. I tell my husband all the time, I don't usually talk in game, and when I talk in game with him, it's usually like conversations about the game, and it's like teamwork, so we're working together to discuss something that's happening in the game. So trying to play games like this that I usually play silently is a hurdle for me to overcome with adding in talking and kind of making it sound normal. So I apologize if it's kind of rough. I'm definitely still learning. This is only my second video, and while I am a pretty outgoing person, grew up doing a lot of public speaking and that kind of thing, still a new skill set. I'm really great at talking to people in person, but sometimes, even like at work, it's hard for me to concentrate on a task at hand and talk to someone. So like if, you know, a new member comes in to our team and I have to kind of explain what we're working on, and I'm using an application on a computer, I have to show them like blueprints or something on a computer, it can be hard for me to explain something, even something that I know really well, and articulate it in the moment and try to do it at the same time. So I find it ironic because I had a professor in college that would always say that women made the best managers because they can multitask, and I feel like I cannot talk and work, so it doesn't bode well for a career in YouTube, but we'll work on it. I'm sure everyone starts out like this. I really like to put in these conservation boards immediately, and the education speakers and boards, because they help get your conservation credits up really quickly. So need to do that. Also need to make sure I put like a restroom in for the guests, and then maybe I wonder if I should put in some heaters. I wonder if they're gonna complain that they're cold. Having never played like the Arctic Zoo, I don't know if that's a thing or not. So I guess we'll find out as we go. I also didn't even check to see if this water temperature regulator, or this water, man, that just barely reaches, but that should keep it clean. Alright, let's see. Yeah, one connected body of water. Okay. And let's rename this doll sheep. And then I need to change my education boards. I need to put in a speaking point. And I need to put in speakers. Let's try here, 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 and then one up here. I'm gonna turn off the heat map for this. There's been times where I've accidentally sunk this speaker like into the roof, and then it's like impossible to find, and it's really confusing. And I'm gonna make this speaker really big, and I know that seems kind of silly, but because the boa is more popular, and I'm researching it right now, I think it'll actually help boost our education faster. If you have any questions about gameplay or tricks like that, let me know in the comments specifically what you're asking about. I'm trying to kind of talk about things as I go, when I'm doing specific things, kind of explaining why I'm doing them and how it's helpful. But I really do want to help inform people because it took me some trial and error. I definitely had a couple of zoos in career mode that failed epically the first time around, and I would just have to pull up all my animals and like delete buildings, delete a bunch of stuff to start from scratch again. And it can be frustrating because you want to play the game, but you know, in those instances you can't because you keep failing. One of the biggest recommendations I have, and you saw me do it here at the zoo, is I dropped quite a bit of money on the boa constrictor because that was the highest rated exhibit animal available in the market, and they also reproduce really quickly. So then you start getting income from the snakes really fast, and I find that to be super helpful in the beginning because, you know, when your tickets are $5 a ticket, you're not really bringing in income very well yet with your animals. But these boas have more appeal than most of my exhibit or my like enclosure habitat animals ever will. I think you can use recycling bins to do to get more conservation credits. Thinking we do kind of maybe like this ice blue color. I kind of wanted a little bit, yeah, like that, maybe that like light blue. So I might drop a couple of these in. And then maybe a couple around the habitat as well. And then I need the donation boxes here. So I feel like the sheep are gonna congregate here. Maybe here. Go ahead and pop one here. And then like here. And once we press play, we'll kind of see if that's true or not. And if you see something that I could be doing more efficiently that you think would kind of help me out with my gameplay, especially for, you know, content purposes, to make it more enjoyable to watch, please let me know what tips you have, because I'm always wanting to learn more about this game, how to become more efficient. Alright, let's go ahead and press play, see how everyone feels about these guys. Ooh, you know what? Definitely need to drop some of these in here. I know this seems like overkill, but sometimes I feel like they just won't drop the money if it's not exactly where they're standing. You would think they'd be a little bit smart, but I don't know. The guests are pretty happy. Of course, the education rating is going to be low. Probably going to go ahead and hire another vet. Might not put them on the doll sheep education right now, but I will have them out in case any of the doll sheep are sick or anything like that. And let's see about their environment, their coverage. I feel like their habitat's a little boring right now. I like to give them a little bit of shape in their enclosures. And if you didn't know, you can actually click on the animal and then go to habitat here, and it'll show you the traversable area, and then it'll also tell you escape points. I find that this feature is really important when you're building, you know, forms like this, because you don't want to make them to where the sheep can't even walk on them, because that kind of defeats the purpose. So, especially when you start adding rocks, it can be more difficult. So let's start popping in some of these plants. I love the caribou moss. I think it's really nice. It's kind of hard right now with the budget that we have to put in, you know, super nice things, but we'll see what we can do. I like to put bushes at the curves of these hills that I build, just so you can kind of, you know, see that it's defined. I also don't want to completely cover up the sheep, so have to keep that under consideration. These festive spruce are really pretty. I think That would look really nice. Oh man, I love the little snow caps on it. Yeah, let's pop one of those right up in front. And then definitely need a couple more of the pine style. We have the Scots pine scratching post, obviously. I don't know that I want that one though. I like these cornels. And let me go ahead and pop in a rock or two. See how much these guys are loving this already. The rocks in this game are really awesome, but sometimes they can mess up the traversable area. You can see that there. That's not too bad, they can still use those, so I'll go ahead and keep them. I do like that you can also add the like moss cover to them. Doesn't really matter much in this situation because they're always going to be covered in snow, but it's cool. And then let's see, are we going to have any plants that you can actually see? I could pop some of these in here because under the tree you can actually see that they're purple, which is nice. Might drop in another blueberry bush. Alright, let's see. They could still use quite a bit of coverage. I think we don't have too many options for trees. Whoa. Those are really big. Okay. Oh, yeah. Pop one of these in. I think I'm gonna leave their coverage there for now. Let me know if you guys want to see anything differently in here. I haven't really looked at the finances, but we are making a profit right now. Everyone's pretty happy. We could probably go ahead and drop in maybe a food and a drink stand. Probably the cheaper ones for now. So maybe we will end the video by doing that. It is really nice to have these all researched already because that takes such a long time. We're gonna start with the OG Gulpy soda because it seems like these guys just always come back to Gulpy. They always love Gulpy. So let's drop in one of those. We'll drop in cheap beef, kind of the same thing. And then we'll go ahead and toss in, I think, an entertainment center, information center, my bad. Puts us a little bit low on cash. I don't love going below 5,000 because I don't like how it gives you the notification that your zoo's low on cash, but it'll be okay. We will make it up. Let me know how you like the zoo. Let me know how you think I can make it look more interesting. Maybe some layout ideas or ideas for the next animal. I was looking in the Zoopedia and filtering by Tundra, and these are all of the different animals we have, so maybe we should make it a goal to have all of these in a zoo. That would be pretty cool. There's a couple of them that are repeats from the previous zoo, the seal and the grizzly bear. I think those are the only ones though, so besides those we would have a lot of new animals to work with. But yeah, let me know what you guys think so far, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you did enjoy the videos. I'm looking at trying to get one uploaded every Saturday for now. Hopefully in the future I can get on at least like a 2-a-week basis. Also looking to film some new games. I especially have been into Minecraft, The Sims, and Stardew recently, Stardew Valley. But I also bought Sea of Thieves last weekend and just started playing that one with my husband. So I might do a fun video with him on that one soon. Yeah, again, thanks for watching, and look forward to building out Chill Zone with you.